Revolutionary greetings, comrades. As you would know, if you are in Zimbabwe, schools opened on the 7th of February 2022 after postponements by the Zimbabwean government because of COVID-19. In this video, we want to discuss solidarity that as the Zimbabwe Communist Party we are giving to the teachers in Zimbabwe who have been on strike ever since. We have seen the statement by Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union of Zimbabwe and the other trade unions. We have been giving an analysis on a number of schools across the country that were not able to open due to shortage of staff. I am Ngabuto Nicholas Mabena, General Secretary of the Zimbabwe Communist Party. Please like this video, subscribe, circulate, and indeed we want to hear how this strike has affected your school. Even if you are in the diaspora, you have kids that are starting in Zimbabwe. So I want to hear from you how this dispute between the Zimbabwean government, who happens to be the employer, and the workers in the teaching profession. The Zimbabwe Communist Party, as the vanguard of the working class and the peasants, is indeed in solidarity with the workers in the teaching profession, and of course in solidarity with all other workers in Zimbabwe who are under oppression. We have said in one of our theoretical journals, Vanguard, that workers in Zimbabwe, they do not go on strike for an increment in their salaries. They go on strike just to be paid. You can imagine. Other workers across the globe, they go on strike for an increment. But in Zimbabwe, workers go on strike just to be paid. This is how bad it is. And the workers in the public sector, when they go on strike, forcing the employer to meet their demands, because the tool that is available to the workers is industrial action. That's the only tool that the workers have. They negotiate with the employer. If the employer does not agree to meet the demands of the workers, the only tool available to the workers is to take to the streets. In Zimbabwe, when workers do such, in the public sector, particularly teachers, they are donated to the opposition. Today I saw a statement by ZANU-PF, Harare province, doing what they always do, donating workers in the public sector to the opposition, and now claiming that the workers in the teaching profession who are on strike are members of the opposition. Assuming they were members of the opposition, what is wrong? Because the Zimbabwean Constitution provides for freedom of association, and every Zimbabwean has a right to belong to any political formation of their choice. But what the Zimbabwean workers in the teaching profession are raising has got nothing to do with the regime change agenda. It has got nothing to do with the upcoming elections, be it March elections on the 26th, 2022, or the 2023 elections. It has got nothing to do with that. It has got everything to do with their own condition as workers. That one, they are unable to provide for their families. They can't buy groceries for their families because they are not being paid. They are expected to be in class to teach our own children, when their own children cannot attend class because they cannot pay school fees. They can't take their loved ones when they are ill to hospitals because they have no money to pay the bills. So when they make these demands, they are then donated to the opposition. ZANU-PF must stop this tendency of always donating the workers to the opposition when workers are raising genuine issues. So the Zimbabwean government, which is in the employer, must meet the demands of the workers. We cannot expect teachers to go to class when the Zimbabwean government fails to respect its own agreements. They had an agreement with the workers in the teaching profession and other civil servants that they were going to be paid in US dollars. And we all remember, I think it was in 2019, when workers in the teaching profession, as led by the Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union of Zimbabwe, marched from Mtare to Harare in the offices of Minister of Finance Professor Mthuli Ncube. They called the Caravan March. They were demanding to be paid their salaries. As the Zimbabwe Communist Party, in solidarity with the teachers, not only with the teachers, but with every worker in Zimbabwe, we call on all progressive forces inside Zimbabwe and outside to be in solidarity with the workers in Zimbabwe. We must build unity. This is time to build unity. Workers understand that an injury to one is an injury to all. So we cannot, workers in other sectors cannot afford not to give solidarity to the workers on strike who are in the teaching profession. Because we are all victims. Every worker in Zimbabwe is a victim of a deep state, which we must dismantle. Unless we dismantle the deep state, unless we dismantle the looting class, workers will continue to suffer. They want workers to be paid a slave wage, when every day they bring brand new vehicles into the country. They send their children to private schools outside the country, for that matter. They take their families for medical care overseas. But they expect workers, particularly in the teaching profession, to go to work on empty stomach. So we're calling one of you comrades, those who are progressive, to be in solidarity with the workers in the teaching profession. We're calling on parents inside Zimbabwe. We know as parents that when we send our children to school, we want them to learn. We pay school fees, but the government does not want to pay workers, the teachers. And this must stop. And this must stop, and it will stop if all of us as parents, be in the diaspora, be in Zimbabwe, are in solidarity, and we give practical solidarity to the teachers in Zimbabwe who are on strike. Let us therefore mobilize ourselves inside Zimbabwe, mobilize ourselves in the diaspora, and give practical solidarity to the teachers in Zimbabwe. One of the things that we must do as part of practical solidarity, let us join in the demonstrations. Where there are demonstrations organized by the unions in Zimbabwe, let us join as parents. If we are in the diaspora, let us organize demonstrations in our embassies and give practical solidarity. We must put pressure on the Zimbabwean government, who happens to be the employer, that we want our children to have teachers in class. Our children go to public schools. Their children go to private schools. the right Cambridge. They were busy celebrating when their own children, when the results, Cambridge results came out. They were celebrating the elite. And this elite is located within the ruling party and in the opposition. And the workers must never think that the opposition have the interest of the workers. No. So as the working class who are on our own, let us give solidarity to the workers in the teaching profession. This is the first step towards dismantling the deep state. Please write your comments, comrades. We want to hear your views. We also want to hear from the Zimbabwean teachers who are now in the diaspora, because we must give solidarity to the workers who are in the teaching profession in Zimbabwe. And we call on international trade unions to give solidarity, practical solidarity, to the workers who are in the teaching profession in Zimbabwe. Amandla, comrades.